Today we're going to go over some basic geometric constructions. Normally you would use a compass and straight edge, but because you might be at home and I can't guarantee that you have a compass, we're going to do this with just a straight edge and we're going to use folding. So I'm going to say basic constructions and we're going to say folding. Okay, they do work with folding, but traditionally you use a compass. So we're going to start with a midpoint. Okay, so midpoint, I'm going to start with a segment. Any length segment, notice I'm using the ruler, but not as a ruler, just as a straight edge. And I'm going to label these endpoints AB. I need to find the point exactly in the middle. Well, to do that, you're going to line up point A to point B, exactly lined up. So honestly, it's a little bit hard to see when I'm on the flat on the camera, so I'm going to hold it up, line up point A and B, and as I find it, I'm going to do a little tiny pinch right here. A and B are lined up perfectly. I'm doing a little pinch, and I'm going to put a point right there. That point is the midpoint, or point exactly in the middle. I'm going to put tick marks on both sides of the midpoint because I just created two congruent segments. And if it were me and I needed to know these like in the future, I might put the steps, like how did I find the midpoint? And you would want to write those steps so that you understand them. They're not for the teacher. They're for you to understand like a month from now or 2 months from now, will you really remember how to do that midpoint by folding paper. So that's how you do it. Line up the endpoints. The next one is very similar to the midpoint. It's the perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector. Okay, again, you're going to start with a segment, any size, any length. And I'm just labeling them CD. And you're going to do the exact same thing you did with the midpoint with a little variation at the end. So you're going to line up C and D. Again, hold it up if you need to. And when I do this, for the midpoint, I put a little crease right here. That's it, a little pinch. But for the perpendicular bisector, I want a complete fold. Okay, so I'm going to make a nice fold. And what happens is you are creating a line at a 90-degree angle. That's the perpendicular part. And it perfectly cuts the segment in half. So it's perpendicular and it's bisected. So this point actually is the midpoint. Okay, but we just say we found the perpendicular bisector. And I'm going to label this line as the perpendicular bisector. And just so you're familiar with the symbol, that symbol means perpendicular. So I'm going to say perpendicular bisector. So then you know the word and you know the symbol, perpendicular bisector. And again, write those steps. Okay, next, angle bisector. Okay, so you're going to need an angle. And how I'm going to draw this angle is I'm purposely going to make one of the sides or the rays way longer than the other one. So there's my really long ray. There's like a shorter ray. I'm going to put point E, F. I'm going to put G way down here. The reason why I did them this way is because a very common mistake is that students line up the arrowheads to each other. They're not necessarily the same length. These rays are not the same length necessarily. Or they line up points on the rays, line them up together, which they might not even be in a corresponding spot. So don't do that. So I purposely made them different lengths. What you want is at point E to make a little crease. So I have my pin there. It kind of holds the position. I'm going to crease this up. But what I'm going to do is each of the spots on this ray, like let's say this spot right here, the corresponding spot or point on this ray is I want to line them up. So my fold should look something like this right here, but the fold has to be at point E. So I'm going to pick this up, point E, and I'm lining up the whole ray, not the endpoints of the ray or not the arrows of the ray, but just lining them up. Now, if you open this up and realize, uh-oh, it didn't go through my vertex, then something's wrong. It has to go through the vertex. Oh, it's kind of light. It has to go through the vertex, and it should bisect the angle, the large angle. Now, if you look at this one, you're like, well, this one looks way bigger and that one looks tiny. Well, it's an optical illusion because the ray is just shorter. So if you need to extend that ray just to double check your work, then they actually look pretty close, huh? Okay, so I just created the angle bisector. And go ahead and write those steps so that you understand them. Okay, those are the 3 basic constructions. We're going to do 2 more, but these next 2 have to do with triangles. The first one is a median. So I'm going to draw a triangle. It doesn't matter what kind of triangle. Or it could be a obtuse, acute, scalene. It doesn't matter. Couldn't find the end. There it is. Okay, so the median is taking the midpoint of one of the sides. And just to make it a little bit easier, I'll use this base right here. So I'm going to call this MN. So I need the midpoint of one of the sides. So midpoint, I just told you how to do that. Line up M to N and do like a little pinch. So M to N, little pinch. So I'm going to put a little point right here. And because it's not what I need, I'm going to put this in orange. I'm going to say midpoint. And then if I forget how to use midpoint, I can go back to those notes. But the actual median is taking the midpoint of one side to the opposite vertex. So that is the median. I'm going to highlight it so it stands out a little bit better. That is the median. So I'm going to label median. And you could even put like definitions with these steps, like whatever you need to understand it. Okay, those are the steps. And one more is the altitude. So I'm going to do 2 triangles on this one because this could turn out in a lot of different ways. I'm just going to draw an acute triangle. It doesn't have to be anything special, an acute triangle, but then I want to draw an obtuse triangle, just so you can see what could happen. Okay, that's like a huge obtuse angle. Okay, so I look at this altitude. The altitude is kind of like the height, or another name for the altitude is the height. To find the height, you're going to take one of the vertices, the vertex, a vertex. I'll call this X. And you need to create a perpendicular line to the side opposite. So to this side right here, I need a 90-degree angle, or 90-degree angle going through point X. So I taught you how to do perpendicular bisectors, but this might not bisect. So what you do, you make the little pinch right here, and I'll just label these AB. You don't necessarily line up the points AB, but you line up the line over itself to make sure that if I folded this at point X, no, I'll do it. It's not really at X, but if I lined it up, see how this line right here lines up with this same line? It's not touching A to B, but it is lining up. So I'm going to do that, but make sure you go through point X. So point X, and I rotate to make sure the lines perfectly line up with each other, that bottom line. And then you're like, wow, that is a nice 90-degree angle. There it is. But that whole line is not the altitude. It's from the vertex to the opposite side. So that is the altitude. Okay. This one's a little bit different. If I go through this point, we'll call it point Y. And if I went straight down at a 90-degree angle, I'm not touching a side length. Well, the rule for altitude is it's 90 degrees or perpendicular with the line containing the opposite side. So if I wanted to, I could take this side, and I could extend it as long as I need it. Can't even see what I'm drawing, but I'm hoping it's kind of, there you go. So through point A, I'm going to line up these dashed lines and the base of that triangle, so they're lined up perfectly along there, but through point Y. So I'm going to take point Y, make the fold. I got to hold that. Line up those dashed lines. And I have a nice perpendicular or 90-degree angle. So from the vertex perpendicular to the side or the line opposite, containing that opposite side. So I'm going to say altitude. I hope this helped with your basic constructions.